Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. If you're new here and you've not been here before, then please check out my other videos. There's lots and lots of content on here for all things hairdressing, whether it's your business, colouring your hair, some hints, some tips, some tricks. Go check it all out, and of course subscribe and leave me some feedback and some thumbs up. If you've been here before and you're already subscribed, then it's great to see you. Welcome back. So for those of you that are looking at me right now going, what kind of hairdresser is she? Is she with that big yellow band across the top of her head? All is about to be revealed. I did not plan for this to happen, but it's not finished yet. So we're going to talk today about toning these yellow tones on blondes, and I'm going to show you how we do it. Let's get into it. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about what's going on here. So obviously as hairdressers, there's only so much we can do to ourselves. In fact, we're not really supposed to colour our own hair at all, but we know we all do it. Okay, so for those of you that have seen me in previous videos, I haven't had my hair properly coloured for years. I've basically done a few sprinkles of highlights, whacked a few toners on now and again. But I've decided with summer coming, I'm coming up to the big 4-0. I want to be blonde again. I want to go back to as light as I possibly can for the summer. So I had a big job ahead of me. Obviously all of this underneath had completely grown out with lockdown and everything. I can't physically highlight the back of my hair. I don't really want to commit to full head bleach or high lift colour because it's a lot, it's maintenance and all of that. I'm quite happy just to go with a lot of highlights. Okay, but because it has been so long, I have a lot of my natural colour. My natural colour is between, say, a 6 and a 7. So I've got a lot of warmth in there. So, of course, for those that know all about the lightening curve and the lifting of colours, my underlying tones are the ones that are going to be exposed. It's going to be yellow. So I got my friend at work. It's half term. So I went round this morning and she has who I'm very grateful for, has highlighted it all for me. So as you can see, I've got it all highlighted. There's lots and lots in there. It did take a good while, but we ran out of time and I was like, no, I'm going to go home. I'm going to tone it myself, because for those of you that know, I do like to make some concoctions with my toners and play around a little bit. And she, you know, so it was something I wanted to do for me and for you. Okay, so toning. In a basic format, toning is neutralising unwanted colours. So literally the tones that appear in your hair because of all the pigments that is lying within our hair, when we start to lift it, we start to lift within those layers and those underlying tones expose and have to go up through the levels. Someone with a base of a 1, which is obviously black hair, they've got a very deep red underlying tone, which is why we say you can't go from black to white blonde in one sitting. It's lifting up 10 levels, which isn't achievable, and all those underlying tones have got to go through the process. So that's why it takes so long. It's something that needs to be done over time. So someone in the mid-range, at space of a 5, they're going to have that orange undertone that will then come out first. Everybody says, oh, I've got a lot of warmth in my hair, it kicks it out, I seem to have so much. It's everybody, it's quite a universal thing. We all have these warm underlying pigments within our hair. Okay, so I won't go too much into it. I won't go into all the melanin and everything. I'll just keep it basic for you. So we've lifted the hair, these underlying tones have been exposed, and we want to correct them. We want to clean that colour off. All that you need to go by is the colour wheel, and it is this simple. Okay, if ever in doubt of what to tone with, I know it seems very confusing, always refer back to your colour wheel. It's got the answer for everything. So basically our colour wheel, yes, it's what you learnt in school right from a young age. It's made up like this. We have 3 primary colours: red, yellow and blue. A primary colour is a colour that cannot be made. It's already there, okay? Now then what we go into is our secondary colours, and we get these by mixing primary colours. So when we mix red and yellow, we create orange. When we create yellow and blue, we create green. And when we create red and blue, we create purple or violet. So these second colours that are made by mixing our primary colours are secondary colours. Now you can keep going, and we go into tertiary colours, and it keeps going on and on and on, which is where we get the whole colour spectrum of colours from. But within the basics of hairdressing and toning, this is going to be enough for the basics. Obviously you can go further into your tertiaries, but for now let's stick to this. Let's stick to the basics. So as you can see, if I hold this up to there, I'm yellow. So all we do when we are toning, we are correcting. So what we will then do is find the opposite on the colour wheel. So the opposite to yellow is purple, which means put a purple on top of yellow and it will neutralise it and bring it back to that clean colour. You're cancelling that colour out by adding that. I know it's scary. I know you think, I don't want to put that on my hair. But it works. Unless your hair is too really over processed and porous, and it's really gone too far, and there's places that are really white, it may pick up the purple tones. But this is the exact reason that we use purple shampoo, because it removes brassy tones, brassy being yellows tones or orange tones. So that is why we have purple shampoo. Same way, I don't know if you've ever heard the old wives' tale. Please don't go and do this and say that I've told you to do this, but I've heard people tell me they've done it. They've gone swimming on holiday and their hair has gone green from the chlorine in the pool reacting with the bleach on their hair. So they've put tomato ketchup on it and it's cleaned it off. Same theory, red cancelling out green. It works. But please don't try it. You may smell a little bit and it'll be really hard to wash out. Anyway, that is the simplest form. So what I need to do to cancel out this is to add a colour with purple in it. Now, obviously, we know that purple is the answer to cancel out this yellow. But when it comes to toning, you have to lift so far, because toning just deposits colour. It won't lift. It may darken slightly because, like I say, it has the ability to deposit. It's not a permanent colour, but we're just changing the tone. So you have to work out the level that you have lifted to. Now this has lifted very light. I would say this is lifted to the base of a 10. If I get my colour chart out and show you on here, this is all our natural tones. And you can see I am up there with the lighter colours. So we can say that it's going to lift with a 10. So basically, I need to apply a toner that's got the base of a 10 with the violet in. Okay, now for those of you that don't know or do know, I'm a Weller girl. I use Weller Colliston. So I do know these colours really well. And if we go down to the colour chart, at the bottom, you'll see all your shades. Now, so I know that in Weller, it doesn't say, I'm just looking on here to see if it tells you anywhere on here, but I can't find it. So when it comes to Weller, our violet tones, which are the numbers after, is a 6. So anything with a 6 in it is what I can tone my hair with. So I'm starting with a 10, and then the number after that needs to be a 6. So we have in Colour Touch a 10-6, which is literally a light blonde with the violet in it. Or I'm going to change it up a bit today. I'm going to create my own and see what happens. I am going to include the violet in it, but what I'm going to do, because I just want to really tone it down a little bit, and because these ends are quite light, I feel like I need to match this colour here to this colour here. I'm not going to go too much into that because it is too much today, but I'm just going to add some ash as well into that. So the colours I have got today, I'm going to put on 10, 8, 6. So 8 is like a pearly colour, so it's got that bit of a silver clean shine to it. So I'm doing its base of a 10, it's got the 8 in it, and then of course it's got the 6 as the secondary tone. I'm also going to mix in with that 10, 1, 6. So again, the 10, because that's what my base is. Then there's a 1, which is our ash, because that's the zone very ashy down here. and then that's more of the 6 in there. I'm going to as well, just to spice things up a bit, add a bit of 981. So this is an ashy colour. If I show you this on the colour chart, if I can find it, 981, 981, yeah, it's here. So as you can see, 981, it's very, very ashy, but that is the kind of colour that in the end result I would like, that kind of silvery blonde colour. So the violet should just cancel the yellow out, and I'm hoping it will leave me around this area. Okay, so I am just going to add a little bit of there. It has got the 9, so yes, it is a little bit darker, but it's still a very, very light colour. So I've had my highlights done this morning, and then I wanted this money piece at the front, this real block bit of blonde. So she's kind of just painted that as a whole section. So there's no way I could leave that like that. So she's washed it out. I've drove home with it like this. So I'm going to apply the toner on myself. So this would normally go on just shampooed hair, but you can do it on dry if it's really, really clean. I'm going to be using 1.9% with it. There is pastel toner as well, so it's about the same. But that is what I'm going to be using with today, and we double up when we're toning. So for the amount of colour tubes that we are using, you're going to use double the amount of peroxide. Okay, let's do this. So on mixing, I'm going to put in my bowl my 1016. I've got about 15 grams of that. 1086, this is the predominant one I want, so I'm going to put about 20 of that. And then with the 981, I'm just going to do about another 15 of that. Okay, which gives me around 50, so 15, 30, 55. So I want 110 mils of peroxide. Which is this, and in we pop. Okay, so that's all in there. So I'll give this a nice mix in there. Get it all mixed together well. Keep stirring. So if you use Weller and you're mixing up this way, it does feel very, very thin and quite liquidy, and obviously that's because we're doubling up on the peroxide. So keep stirring until that's all mixed together well. And then, safety first, guys. Try your gloves. So I've got our gloves on. Mine are very big. I've run out of mediums. Had to resort to the emergency box of large that I could only get in lockdown. The whole world seemed to run out of gloves, and I went from paying about £4 for a box to about, I think, 20 quid in some places. It was ridiculous. So that's all mixed in. So literally now I'm going to start at this front bit, because obviously that's the important bit. And I'm just going to get it all on. So what I'm going to do, because my ends are already really established from the years of toners and bleach. I mean, right down there, you think that hair's quite a few years old. So it's been through quite a lot, and it's kind of naturally lightened and got a few bleach and colours on there. So I'm going to go in first on my roots. Put that in everywhere. What I'll do is put it all in my roots everywhere, and then once all my roots are on, I will go straight, bringing it down onto the ends. So I'm going to keep doing this all the way through. Let's speed this up a bit. You don't want to sit and watch me do this for 10 minutes. Okay, so all that is on now. As you can see, it's already started to work a little bit at that top bit. So what I'm going to do now is leave it for 15 minutes and then have a look at it. And then see if it needs any longer. 15 minutes should be enough, but I may go up to 20. So what I'll do is I'll be back in 15-20 minutes and show you what this looks like then. Okay, so we've been on now for about 20 minutes. As you can see, it does look like it's going well. That yellow has lifted out quite a bit. So I'm going to wash it off now and dry it off and let you have a look at the final result. So here is the finished result, and I'm absolutely in love with it. I love it. All that warmth look, it's gone. It's completely cleaned it off and toned it out. I've come over to the window because it's got the natural light. My lights here in this room are warm, so what that would do is pick up on the warmer tones in my hair. You're better if you're going to look at a colour that you've just had done to go under a clean white light. Bathrooms are normally good lighting. They normally have that nice clean white. But yeah, so I've turned the lights off and come over to the window so you can see it in the natural light. And I am so pleased with it. I mean, if you go like that, you don't look at me now and think, well, look at your yellow hair. It's absolutely beautiful. It flows. So them ends where it was ashy previous from all the colour and the bleach and the over processing before, it flows straight down into it. You know, there's no kind of line that separates one colour from the next. It's absolutely, I'm just so pleased with it. So aftercare now, what I will do is when you're in the shower, if you're washing your hair, keep the temperature a little bit cool, keep it lukewarm. Don't go for really hot. What that has a tendency to do is strip your toner. If you're using any heat products, hair dryers, straighteners, curlers, anything like that, make sure you use a heat protect always, and use your oil. Give yourself a few conditioning masks to keep your hair in the condition that you want it to. If you're having your highlights done to go on holiday or you're out in the sun will strip colour out of hair. We've all been on holiday before and come back a few shades lighter. That's because the natural ultraviolet rays from the sun will strip colour. So if you're out in the sun and you've had your toner done, put a hat on, put some conditioner on, do something to protect it, and all of that. So I will see how long this lasts, but I'm absolutely over the moon with it. It's just come out beautiful. It's so clean and white. So very happy with that. Might have to go and put some makeup on now, make myself look a bit better. Washed it all off. So let me know your thoughts, let me know your feedback. Give me a thumbs up if you like this, or have any questions, please leave them for me in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you again soon. Bye.